Hello hunters, welcome back to my story. Let's begin part 16. In the Zuso Castle ruins, there's a secret room below the castle, besides the location of the key that is also still intact. The library. This is where Zeus has taken Jerry to negotiate. Dragot is also there. Zeus says that he's willing to call off all of his soldiers and end this war if Jerry just gives up one thing. His daughter Alexis. She holds a secret within her, a special power. It makes her the only one capable of wielding the ultimate weapon, or the absolute Armageddon hammer. He wants to use Dragot's power to steal this energy from her so he can wield the weapon. Then he says that if Jerry refuses, Dragot will kill him. Jerry would rather give up his life than hers, so he decides to stall for as long as he can. Meanwhile, Hunter reveals his magic. Shadow magic. He forms a shadow bow and arrow, and says that a truly skilled hunter never misses his game. Then he fires a lightning-fast shot at Akiro. They don't have time to dodge, and Akiro is about to get hit. Just then, someone deflects the shot. It's Enzo. He has come back to Earth at last, and just in time to save his son. And he tells all of Team B that he decided to return after 6 months. And when he got here, Shelia filled him in on what's happening. And then he took out a squad that was trying to take Cherokee City. Then he made his way here where Team B is. Then he says that he'll take on Hunter alone, and that everyone else should head back to the land of Cherokee, because 5 of the Spriggan are over there. He says he'll be okay because he's been training for 6 months, so everyone except Akiro and Alexis leave. Akiro says he'll stay in case he needs to help. Alexis says that she's worried about Atka, then heads off to Zuso Fields. Back at the Sky Temple, Spirit and Boku begin to talk. Boku tells them that they learned Spirit's plan thanks to Hunter, and they quickly awakened the 5 Titans of Zuso and entered the 3 temples. Magic chains hurt Spirit, and Boku says that he'll keep tightening his grip until Spirit's been torn to pieces. But then, Spirit transforms into a silver spirit form and breaks the chains. Boku throws more chains, but Spirit catches him and pulls Boku towards him. Then he punches Boku in the gut at full power, knocking him out. Then Spirit takes the key piece, decides to spare Boku's life, then he leaves. Back at the Earth Temple, Gear and Outcast begin to fight. Gear has some trouble, as Outcast can use anything in the room as a weapon thanks to his alchemy. And he can even use necromancy, a form of dark magic, to bring skeletons in the room back to life. But in the end, Gear wins and takes the key piece, and leaves without killing his opponent. Meanwhile, back on planet Flora, Hikage and Hikari have just gotten back from their honeymoon with Rose and Lily. Then Hikage realizes that while they were out with their sweethearts, their friends could be at war. Hikage and Hikari leave quickly after realizing this, and Rose and Lily go with them. Meanwhile, on planet Dark, Magi realizes what's going on, and he decides to go to Earth to stop his fellow Spriggan. Back on Earth, as Alexis makes it to Zuso Fields, Spirit and Gear return as well, but Atka isn't there. Gear tells her where he went, and she heads off to the Forest Temple to see if he's okay. In the Forest Temple, Atka and Foray begin to fight. At first, Atka has no trouble against her in space form, and he gets cocky. He decides to take things easy, and he ends up getting hit with the full force of siphoning magic. His energy is completely drained, and he's powerless. She hangs him up on a wall, and she says she's going to torture him. She picks up a rusty blade and stabs him in the gut. She says that this is only the beginning. But then suddenly Alexis shows up, knocks Foray into a wall. Both Atka and Foray are very surprised. And Foray fires more siphoning magic at Alexis. Atka tells her to dodge it, but she catches it, and she burns it away. Both Atka and Foray are shocked by this. It turns out that Alexis was doing some secret training with Blair in the past 6 months, and learned to wield fire magic. Atka may die soon from his wound, so Alexis vows to finish this fight within 5 minutes. Foray laughs at this statement, then Alexis ignites her own body and charges at her. This flaming tackle does a lot of damage. Then she follows it up with a barrage of fiery punches. Then she fires a full power blast infused with fire to finish her off. With that, Alexis applies Miracle Water to the wound, healing it and preventing Atka from catching a disease from that rusty blade. Then she burns off the chains that were bounding him to the wall. Then Atka drinks some Miracle Water to restore his stamina. He tells her that that was amazing, and Atka asks why she showed up anyway. And she said that she just had a bad feeling. Then he says he's glad she showed up, and that she was very brave just then. They spare Foray and take the key piece, then leave. They're back in Zuso Woods, and without any battles or monsters around, it's quite peaceful. That's when Atka decides to do something. He gets something out of his pocket that he's been carrying ever since before the war started. It's a diamond ring. He proposes to her here. He asks her if she'll marry him once this war is over. She starts crying because this is exactly the kind of place that she's been dreaming of being proposed to in, ever since she was a kid. A forest in a foreign country. Also, she loves diamonds. She says yes, then she thanks him, and they both leave and return to Zuso Fields. They meet up with Spirit and Gear and tell them everything that happened except for the proposal. They want to keep that a secret until the war's over. Now they head to the Zuso Castle ruins and find the door that goes to Zuso Temple, where the absolute Armageddon hammer is said to lie. They try to form the keys together, but the pieces don't stick. Alexis tries to weld it together with her fire magic, but the key is magic proof. They decide to look around for clues, and they find another door. They decide to open it and see what's inside, and they find the library. They enter, and there they find Zeus, Dragot, and Jerry. Alexis tries to approach her father, but he tells her to stay back. Then Zeus says that all 4 pieces of the puzzle are here. Teammate is confused by that. Then Dragot tells him that the 4 pieces are the 3 key pieces and Alexis. Then he explains that she has a certain power within her that makes her capable of wielding the absolute Armageddon hammer, the ultimate weapon, which otherwise kills anyone who tries to wield it. Acta asks Zeus how he knows of all this, and he holds up the Secrets of the Universe book. Then he explains how he got it. He heard about the incident Jake caused 6 months ago because spies watched him, Zalgazar, and Zin in the Orange Temple. And during that fight, he took the book for himself by taking the teleporter there to go to the top of the Cherokee Mountain. For the past 6 months, he's been reading this book, and he's gone through every single page. Thus he knows every secret there is, including the secret about Alexis. And Dragot says that once they get a hold of her, he'll use his magic to steal that power from her, so he can wield the weapon himself. Attica says that's not going to happen. Then he charges at Dragot. Zeus stands in front of him, and he knocks him into the bookshelf. Then he starts attacking Dragot. Zeus is surprised that his barrier didn't work, and Spirit tells him that the B team must be tearing through their forces. Meanwhile in Cherokee City, they are. And they also haven't run into a single Spriggan yet. Then 4 powerful warriors show up. They're the strongest humans in the Zuso royal army, known as the 4 disciples of Zeus. Their names are Horatio, Ragnarok, Crash, and Jake. Yes, Jake, the same one who's been killed by Spirit and Zabuthine. He's been revived once more by Alcest's necromancy, and is stronger than ever. He joined Zeus and now is one of the 4 disciples. The 5 that are there, Stry, Lee, Jay, Curtis, and Roshan, plan to take them on. But then out of nowhere, 4 more warriors show up. But these ones aren't working for Zeus. It's Akage, Hikari, Rose, and Lily. They finally got to Earth, and now they're ready to fight these 4. They apologize for being late, and they explain why they were late. Meanwhile, in the Orange Desert, Enzo is in an intense battle. It's a struggle on both sides, but then Enzo reveals the true results of his 6 months of training. He transforms into his ultimate form, which he unlocked while training. His form has yellow hair. Now he has the upper hand against Hunter, and is able to easily stop his shadow magic and defeat him. Now Hiro and Enzo decide to return to the rest of Team B, and when they get to them, they're now ready to fight. Just then, Shelia calls Stry on his phone, and she says that 4 Spriggan are now on the move. One is heading towards Cherokee City, another is going to Outskirt Town, another is going to Mountfoot Village, and the other is going out to Grape Village. Stry ends the call and then heads to Cherokee City. Then Curtis goes to Outskirt Town, Lee goes to Mountfoot Village, and Jay goes to Grape Village. Now Akage is going to fight Horatio, Hikari will fight Ragnarok, Rose will fight Crash, and Lily will fight Jake. Jake decides to spice things up by using his power to will his 4 siblings here, Daryl, John, Josh, and Joel. Jake gives them power, and said that they must swear allegiance to Zeus. John, Josh, and Joel have no problem doing this, because they worked for Gear at one point. They decide to become Zeus's power squad, and they do the same poses from back in the airship incident a while back. Gerald doesn't want to be someone's underling, so he wants to refuse, but then Jake tells him that they can overthrow Zeus if they win. Then he accepts and joins their side. He teams up with the Power Squad to fight Roshan, Akira, and Enzo. Meanwhile, at the villages that aren't being attacked, Straw Village, Cherry Village, Rad's Village, and Pineapple Village, Annabelle, Blair, Claire, and Michelle aren't being involved in this war at all, and they want to change that. They'll get into a call with each other, and Shelia updates them on what's going on. Now they really want to help. So they come up with a plan. Blair and Claire will go help Jay, Kevin, Great Village, and Michelle and Annabelle will go help Lee, Hans, and Sam at Mountainfoot Village, and the call and set out. Back in Cherokee Fields, Enzo and Akira swap places with Rose and Lily so things will be more fair. And now the fights begin. Meanwhile, back at the Zuso Castle Library, Attica keeps attacking Dragot but doing no damage as he's in his base form. Then Dragot blocks his next punch and says that they should take the fight elsewhere. Attica agrees to this and tells the others that he will fight Dragot alone, and that he wants them to take care of everything else involving this war, the ultimate weapon, and Gu 2. Then Attica and Dragot disappear, and they reappear in the Straw Mountains. This is where they'll fight one-on-one. Back in the library, Alexis is looking through the books and finds one on the absolute Armageddon hammer. She reads that once the 3 pieces of the key are gathered, you must go to another temple deep beneath the abandoned ocean and unite them with a material only found there. Then the Zuso temple door can be opened. Then Spirit comes up with a new plan. He hands his key piece to Alexis, and then Gear does the same. He says that since she's the only one who can wield the weapon, she will be the one to get to it, and she'll also form the key at the Deep Sea Temple. She agrees to this, and she leaves. Then Spirit tells Gear to take Jerry and go to Team B, and then they leave and go to Great Village. At the halfway point, Jerry goes off on his own to Mountain Foot Village. Spirit stays in the library to speak with Zeus. He asks him why he targeted the Spriggan for his mission. He says that only a Spriggan can steal others' energy and transfer it anywhere, so he could use them to obtain the ultimate weapon for himself, and he also wants their Project Goo 2 to be unleashed so he can be the most unstoppable force in the cosmos. Then Spirit demands him to tell him where Goo is being held, but Zeus just responds with a laugh. Thanks for watching part 16 of this story. Stay tuned for part 17 where many battles in this war go down. I'll see you guys then. Happy hunting.